My experience has shown me that the students who are the most effective learners are those who take responsibility for their own learning. This is also backed up by research, so you don't just have to take my word for it. The way I see it is that there are 3 stages. You have to prepare, participate, and reflect. I find it best to use examples, so let's take the example of going to a seminar. Of course, you could just turn up and wing it. There's always going to be someone there to answer questions for you. But if you really want to get the most out of the seminar, then you have to put something in. Let's take each stage in turn. Preparing. Before you go to the seminar, ask yourself these 4 questions. Firstly, what is my goal? Or what is it that I need to learn from this seminar? To be able to answer these, you need to know what the seminar is about. I like to do some research, read about the subject, and have some questions ready. And second, what learning strategies do I intend to use? Or how do I intend to learn in this situation? Everyone learns in different ways. I like to take notes. It helps me focus. I also make myself ask the questions I prepared, unless they've already been answered, of course. I always hate it, but it has got better with time. My strategy is to arrive in plenty of time with the questions I prepared and my paper and pen ready to take notes. I aim to be calm and relaxed and determined to get the most from the seminar. Then the third question, do I think that I can achieve the goal? Or am I confident in achieving the goal? I also go prepared to listen. It's all too easy to let your mind wander. I know that if I concentrate and participate, I will learn, which is my goal. And lastly, how interested am I in the task? Or how can I make the task more interesting? Okay, there will always be sessions which are less interesting and in some cases really boring. Less so seminars, but lectures can be really dry. I think again the answer to this is do some work up front. Know what the session is about and do some reading around it. The more you know, the easier it is to switch on to what is being said. Participating. To get the most from the seminar, frequently ask yourself these 3 questions. Am I progressing towards my goal? Or am I learning what I intended to learn? Every now and again during the seminar, I give myself a nudge and think about whether I'm actually learning anything. Most of the time I am, but occasionally I find that I'm not. I don't like this because I hate wasting my time. Identifying that I'm not actually getting anything from the session prompts me to do something about it. That takes me on to the second question. Are my chosen strategies working, or do I need to change how I am learning in this situation? If I'm not learning, then why not? Sometimes it's just a case of listening more carefully and participating more by asking or answering questions. Sometimes it's a state of mind. I find I'm not really trying, maybe I'm tired, or I've got something on my mind. If this is the case, my strategy is to try and switch off the outside and concentrate. I remind myself that this session is only an hour and I owe it to myself to get the most out of it. Is the task holding my attention? Or do I need to focus on what is interesting? Some seminars seem to lose their way and we seem to keep on going over the same ground. I find that on these occasions it's good to inject some enthusiasm into a session and maybe change the focus to something that I find more interesting. I try to ask questions that move the emphasis. This can really help move things on and seems to help everyone get more involved. Reflecting. It's easy to think that after the seminar it's all over and done with, but I think that this is the most important part of learning. I try and always find time to ask myself 3 questions. Did I achieve my goal? Or did I learn what I intended to learn? My notes usually show me this. I always read them through and check they make sense and that they will help me when it comes to revision. How well did my chosen strategies work? Or do I need to change how I learn in the future? If I haven't got the most out of the seminar, I try and be honest with myself about why that is. Did I prepare well enough? Have I had too many late nights? Am I too preoccupied with other things? With me, it's usually one of these things, and I can sort it. How did I stay motivated? Or do I need to change how I keep myself motivated in the future? Sometimes I do lose interest and start to wonder if I've chosen the right course. What I try and do is remind myself that things move on and this is just one topic. I try and remember my passion for the subject and the fact that if I do well, I should get a good job. It's a mind thing really, and it seems to work for me. Well, these are my strategies. They may or may not work for you, but the really important thing is that you have your own approach and reassess them every now and again. Things change, and so do you. There's a link to a copy of a template that outlines the strategies that I use. You can either download it or print it. Have a go. You might find that it really helps.